All right, UFC Vegas 29 today. Back at it. This is going to be very, very quick. I'm going to try to make this short. Quick rundown. The first fight starts in an hour and 20 minutes. First fight, 4 Eastern. First fight, first bet of the night. That's how I like to do it. So go ahead and share my screen. And I think I'll go ahead and give you guys a bet for every fight. I really love the action on today's card. As evident by my betting card, I have 8 bets. And that's quite a lot for typically I average around 4 or 5, I would say. But yeah, these are all going to be brief rundowns. Not a big believer in Casey O'Neill. On the other hand, Laura Procopio, I bet against her in her debut versus, I believe it was Carol Rosa. And man, she impressed. And then she followed it up with that performance against Molly McCann. And I know people love to talk shit about Molly McCann, but I think Molly McCann is fairly underrated, and the girls she's losing to are really high level. And I just think Procopio is a different level here. Casey O'Neill, I think, has a long way to go, and I think it's going to show tonight. Lara is a more versatile fighter. She's going to have to stuff takedowns probably and a lot of aggression from Casey O'Neill, but I think she can get the job done and get a unanimous decision win or a finish. Joaquim Silva versus Rick Glenn. This is a banger of a fight. Both guys are coming off kind of a layoff. Rick Glenn, I believe, is 3 years. Silva, I believe, is a year and a couple months. But I was able to tell right away, guys. With Joaquim Silva, the dude is defensively a liability. But offensively, he's got a lot of output, and the same goes for Rick Glenn. And I just think sometimes with these fights, I get into tape, and it takes me like 10 minutes to realize that a fight's going to be violent. So when I realize that, I kind of hold off on picking a side and just go with the violence. That's just kind of my style, and I think this is a spot. And to parlay that, the number was plus 170 for under 2.5 rounds, which I don't get at all. I mean, I know Rick Glenn, I don't think he's been finished before, maybe once. But it's a 3-year layoff, guys, for Rick Glenn. And Joaquim Silva, like I said, defensively is a liability. So I think this is going to be an action-packed fight in a small cage at the Apex. I'm down to take that shot at under 2.5 rounds. Okay, here we go. Josh Parisi versus Roque Martinez. Probably the main event. The real main event of the night. I mean, this fight is kind of similar to another fight on the card. Davey Grant versus Marlon Vera. You're probably like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? What do you mean? But I think fast starts on the sides of Parisian and David Grant, while the opposition is slow starter historically and downloading that information and can kind of take over the fight if Parisian or David Grant go a little too hard in that first 5 minutes. So honestly, though, Parisian is not good. Roque Martinez is not good. But as far as durability and like cardio, I know it looks like this Roque Martinez trains at Burger King, but he's got good cardio, man, and he's very durable. As far as like skill set, it's not really there. I think he does have the better hands, but it's kind of hard to have the better hands when you're a 5 at heavyweight, and he's facing giants every single time. So he's at a disadvantage as far as height and length is concerned always. But Parisian, I keep telling myself he has the grappling upside here, but I don't trust him to use it. But he comes hard in that first round, and he looks to put opponents away. I honestly don't think he's going to get Roque out of there in the first round. Like I said, I've talked about Roque's durability, but I do think Parisian has a lot of upside in this matchup, as should just about every heavyweight in the UFC against Roque. So, do I suggest you put your hard-earned money on this fight? No, but I think you can pre-bet Josh Parisian here, pre-fight at whatever it is, minus 130, minus 140. And I think after that first round, we're probably going to see a live line of like minus 200 for Parisian. So you can cash out if he doesn't get that first round finish. And like I said, he has a first round finish upside along with the fast start abilities. So yeah, if you hold on to the ticket and you don't cash out live, you're probably going to be sweating hard for the last 5 minutes or 7 minutes of this fight, because I kind of do expect Rogan to take over if there's no finish from Parisi early. So that's what I got. Semelsberger versus Chaos Williams. Chaos, the touch of death Williams versus Semelsberger. This is a really good fight. I have an official play in this one as well. I have 8. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I'm going to give you a bet for every fight, and you can probably guess what it is based on what I'm saying. So the over was set at 1.5, and I believe the over was getting a lot of love. And quite frankly, I kind of don't understand it. One quote that I will remember forever from Semelsberger is he prioritizes entertaining over winning. That says it all, guys. And I think a lot of people are confused with Chaos Williams, and they watched the last fight against Pereira, and they saw it went to decision. They're like, oh, okay, maybe the touch of death isn't real. Maybe kind of a few flukes in his first 2 fights, and that's not going to happen. But the difference is Pereira was looking to evade. Pereira was looking to pot shot. Pereira was looking to circle the cage and get out of there with a decision victory, a technical decision win. Semelsberger comes forward, guys. Semelsberger throws counters. Semelsberger counters off the low kicks on his opponents. He's going to get in the face of Chaos Williams. And like I said, prioritizes entertaining over winning. So that in itself says a lot to me. I like the under 1.5 here. Can Semelsberger knock him out? I'm not too confident in that. I think largely under 1.5 means Chaos Williams knocks him out. But yeah, I mean, I don't put anything past Semelsberger. He's huge for 170, and he's got a lot of power. So I think they're going to get after it right away, and there's going to be a finish in the first 7.5 minutes. Verna Jandiroba versus Kanako Murata. Quite frankly, I think Jandiroba is going to be too much for Murata. Murata is primarily a grappler, and I don't think that's how you beat Jandiroba. I don't think you want to play around on the mat with Jandiroba. And I honestly think Jandiroba is a better striker. Murata, it's kind of hard to tell where her striking is, but I don't think it's very high. We saw in the Randos Marcos fight a lot of jittery movement, a lot of moving around. Would throw one punch at a time, kind of. Not saying Jandiroba is any different, but Jandiroba has kicks. Jandiroba is more technical. I think in a stand-up fight, Jandiroba is going to be throwing more volume. So, yeah, I like Jandiroba here a lot, to be honest. I'm going to go with either a submission or a decision win for Jandiroba. Okay, Nick Negamorano versus Alexa Kamer. Probably didn't say that right, but do not bet this fight, guys. Just don't do it. That's really all I have to say about this fight. It's a very weird fight. Alexa Kamara, even when he wins, I feel like they have been let down performances. And I just don't trust the kid. He should be better than he is. I think he has the ability to be better than what he is, what he's shown, but he just hasn't put it all together. And Nick is just he's not good. He's coming off a really long layoff, and I don't expect much from these two tonight or in the future, if I'm being completely fucking honest with you guys. So honestly, this is a complete pass for me. Hopefully we can see Alexa Kamer put it all together in a fight, because this is the fight to do it. If you drop the ball or win unimpressively against this guy, you're stuck and your potential is officially like done for. So this is a spot to look good, but I don't trust him to. So yeah, complete pass for me. Diego Lima versus Matt Brown. Banger of a fight. Matt Brown brings the violence. Small cage. Diego Lima, don't trust him to come forward. I kind of trust Matt Brown to come forward, but I also kind of trust Matt Brown to walk straight into a fucking death hook from Diego Lima and getting his fucking lead leg, shoot apart. So, Lima's kind of fragile. Brown's kind of fragile at this age. They both bring violence despite being fragile. So, under 2.5. Really, really like it. Wellington Turman versus Bruno Silva. Bruno Silva has 25 fights. And like his technical ability and just his overall skill set, I don't think is very high. Like he's coming off I think he's coming off a 3-year layoff as well. And he was suspended for PEDs. And I mean, he's got the stopping power. He can just turn anyone's lights off. It's 185. He's beating guys that he probably shouldn't be beating. And I think Wellington Turman is a lot better as far as overall game is concerned. But that last fight was like, it's kind of ridiculous. Like he was calling on Sanchez and it was like, let's fucking bang it out. And Sanchez obliged and he knocked him the fuck out. And that, I think Turman needs to come in here and he needs to mix it up. Like, I think he needs to get over thinking he's a striker. And I hope he did after staring up at the lights, not able to move after getting knocked out by Sanchez. I hope he went back to the drawing board and reevaluated what it is the fuck he's trying to do here, because he should beat Bruno Silva. I think he's a better fighter. I trust him more. Outside of the stopping power random knockout, I think Turman's a side here. Julian Rosa versus Song Woo Choi. Juicy J, Song Woo Choi. I honestly like both of these guys. But again, Rosa is a violent, action-packed fighter. Choi will oblige, and this is going to be a banger. Fight doesn't go to decision was plus 100. I don't understand why, because this is going to be a banger. Enough said. Marlon Chito Vera versus Davey Grant. Davey Grant is like 36 years old, guys, and his striking looked better than ever in that Martin Day fight after, I believe it was a 2-year layoff. I believe it was an underdog versus Martin Day. He wasn't supposed to win that fight. He knocked Martin Day out, and his striking looked better than ever. He wasn't supposed to be Jonathan Martinez. Looked fantastic. Another KO win. Like, Davey Grant knows he's at the tail end of his career, and he's not afraid to take chances. He's not afraid to go out there and swing with guys he's not supposed to be beating. And I think that's kind of closed the gap a little bit as far as like skill, speed, and technical ability. Like he's not on Marlon Vera's level, but his willingness to engage, his willingness to take chances, I think closes the gap in the technical aspect of the fight. He already has a win over Marlon Vera. I know they're two completely different fighters at this point, but the plus 190 or the plus 200 on Davey Grant earlier this week was fucking ridiculous. But Chito Vera, historically very, very durable. Can Grant get the KO here? I mean, I kind of would be shocked if he got it, because Vera, I don't think, has ever been finished. And like I said, historically, he's just a very durable guy at 135. But I like a different thing here. I like Davey Grant via decision. I was able to snag that at plus 500 on Bovada a couple days ago, and I really, really like that number. I think Davey Grant's going to get off to a fast start. I think you can pre-fight bet Davey Grant the money line and cash out, because I expect this line to close live after round one, very, very close. I expect the line to close, and you'll probably see even money. But I do expect Davey Grant to win the first round. Marlon Vera kind of downloads information, a little hesitant in that first round, kind of lets his opponent get off and sees what he's working with, and then he pours it on in rounds 2 and 3. So, I like Davey Grant here. I think he's going to outperform the betting line, and it should be a fun fight regardless. Alexei Olynyk versus Sergey Spivak. This is probably Olynyk's not easiest fight, but he's been fighting high-level guys. And Spivak, though, I think if Olynyk's going to pull something off, like his last sort of hurrah, I think it's going to be against Spivak. I don't trust Spivak. Olynyk is so fragile. He probably needs a walker to get in the octagon at this point. Like, one touch on his chin, and I think it's probably fucking over. But that's why I can't bet on Olynyk. I looked stupid betting him versus Dawkins. But yeah, this is a weird fight. I think the under 1.5 is going to cash. Um, I'm not ruling out anything from Olynyk in this fight. I think he can somehow get it to the mat and make Spivak look pretty stupid. But like I said, you don't even need the touch of death. You need a gust of wind to knock out Olynyk at this point. And yeah, I like that number 1.5. Main event: Danny Ige versus Chan Sung Jung. I don't have a lot to say in this one. It's a pick 'em for a reason, I believe, or close to pick 'em. I liked Gavin Tucker against Danny Ige. I liked Edson Barbosa against Danny Ige. Keeps proving me wrong. Chan Sung Jung is kind of the same way. I mean, I've picked against him quite a bit. The Moicano fight hurt me really, really bad. And I don't really have much to say in this fight. I think Danny Ige is probably the side. But I like violence in this one as well. 5 rounds. Danny Ige doesn't slow down. He's a come forward in your face kind of guy. Very durable though. So can Chan Sung Jung finish him? I'm not too sure. A lot of guys should have finished Danny Ige probably, but they haven't. So probably leaning more towards an Ige finish. But then again, that feels weird. Korean Zombie, very durable. But yeah, largely I think Danny Ige is aside. But anyways, that's it for me, guys. I hope I was able to give you some betting advice there. For all my official bets, go to warriorbetmma.com. Follow me on Twitter at warriorbetmma. Let's have a great night. First fight starts in an hour now, so let's get it done.